Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 80 of the J Situation Podcast. I'm recording this on September 20th, 2021. How you folks doing? Guys, did you go shooting this weekend? Bro, I did too. It was so awesome. So awesome. I can't wait to tell you about it. I'm so excited. It was so fun. I'm excited to share some of the experiences I had with you. I am. I think you folks will find it interesting. I think so. I think there's a lot of good information I can give you. Oh man, it's so cool. And so I've been super busy. And if you notice, this podcast is coming a day early this week. I'm pushing up everything this week. I'm going to push up deliverables for you because I'm going to be going on a short vacation. Don't worry, I'll be back soon. But so you're going to get some stuff before I leave. I promise. Well, what kind of stuff? What kind of stuff are you going to get? Well, silencer stuff. That's right. And some folks who are relatively good at making sure folks can get silencers are the fine folks at Silencer Shop. The J Situation Podcast is proudly sponsored by Silencer Shop, the most efficient and intelligent way to purchase silencers. Yeah. As a silencer consumer, they're not only my dealer of choice, but my infrastructure of choice. Okay, they're great. They have the QR code that the ATF can scan so they don't make mistakes, because those ATF folks, I tell you what, a lot of paperwork. You don't want to subject your forms to that. No, you want it to go smoothly. So use the kiosk. There's a reason Silencer Shop has grown. They continue to innovate. Network of nationwide dealers where silencers are legal. Use the kiosk. Put your fingerprints in there. It's all encrypted. Take your picture. All that stuff. You cut down on errors. Simplify your silencer purchasing process. Money back guarantee. No transfer fees. No paperwork errors. Just you and your silencer with no drama. It truly is silencer ownership simplified. It is. If you don't have an SOT, you should probably just use Silencer Shop. That's probably make your life the easiest thing. And, I will tell you, secondly, and most importantly, this podcast is sponsored by Pew Science, pushing the silencer industry forward, dragging them forward through the arduous path, kicking and screaming, one test at a time. Visit pewscience.com for the suppression rating, the simplest and most accurate hearing safe ratings for your suppressed small arms. They're based on true human sound perception. The data that is used to generate these ratings is the cleanest, most comprehensive, most high fidelity silencer test data in the entire world. There is no equal. There is no comparison. The data on pewscience.com is the best. And the suppression rating captures it all for you, and it's in Section 5 of the Silencer Sound Standard. The standard walks you through gunshot noise. It's sort of like Wikipedia, but it's cooler because it's about silencers. There's 7 parts. They're all on pewscience.com for you to read. They are. If you haven't dug into the Silencer Sound Standard, you don't need to. You can. It's there. But you don't need to if you don't want to. You can skip to Section 5. It tells you what the suppression rating is. Really took a lot of the guesswork out there for you. You look at it, you're like, oh, higher's better. Sounds quieter. Lower's worse. Sounds louder or more harsh. Okay, lets you know how silencers stack up in comparison to one another with regard to that sound at the muzzle and at the shooter's ear. Okay, and the really cool thing about it, it gives you a hearing safe dose limit for the particular platforms on which the silencers are tested, directly tied to human perception. That's all there is to it. You're not going to find it anywhere else in the world, I promise. The 6th section of the standard contains all the reviews. That's where you get really in depth. And if you think they're too detailed, say, Jay, I don't have time for that, bro. That's like way too many words. And frankly, I'm upset at you for it. I say, okay, well, don't be upset, but be patient. And if you like, I boiled it all down for you quickly in section 7, the ranking section. You go in there, you sort the table, you pick the cartridge, you pick the gun, you pick the silencer, and you say, oh, this is great, this is easy. And then if you find something you like, there's links in there. It'll take you back to section 6 to look at the detailed data. That's all there is to it. Okay. Go wild, peruse it to your heart's content. And as always, if you go to a website and you're a manufacturer, a dealer, or distributor, say, gosh, how can we have our silencers evaluated with this methodology, with this careful analytical methodology, with really clean, high-fidelity test data using PewSoft? How can we do that? So no problem. There's a form on the website with which you can submit that inquiry. Your content information and all test data will be held in strict confidence unless, of course, you want to release it to the public. And that's your decision, of course. PewScience can help you do that. We've done that with a couple of our clients so far. There's no pressure to do that ever. It's your data. If you choose to procure those services from PewScience, we will be happy to help you show that data to the world if you are so inclined. And you can support this podcast, PewScience, and our testing by joining with a membership at pewscience.com if you like. It would really help out a lot, but you don't have to. The reviews are free. The suppression rating is free, so don't ever feel pressured to pay any money. This is free, but if you want the effort to continue, the money does help. But you can always things that don't cost you anything are spreading the word, rating the podcast good on your podcast provider, things like that. And the hope is to, at the end of the day, before this is all said and done, hopefully the public will find out that silencers and guns are awesome. That's normalizing the use of suppressed small arms. So, okay, I have a lot to go into today. Oh my gosh, and I have my handy dandy notepad in which I scrawl my crap. 1 second. Oh my God, is that it? Yeah. I just cleaned my I use the word cleaned loosely, but I just cleaned my my desk here. It needed it. Theoretically, it's not clean. I have 5 topics for you today. Topic 1, the FN 509 Compact Tactical. I'm going to give you an update on that. This gun is awesome, dude. Super excited. Topic 2, Griffin CAM-LOK update. Going to give you an update on that. This system is also awesome, dude. Super excited about that. Again, super excited. Give you an update on that. Topic 3, Surefire SOCOM 556 RC2 on the tuned 11.5-inch mid machine gun. What? Did I test that? No. Did I shoot it? You bet I did. Was it fun? Absolutely. Do I have to qualify it with some other statements? Unfortunately, yes, but we'll talk about that in topic 3. Topic 4, new sound signature review coming this week. That's right. More data. That's right. Yes, friends. More data for you. And topic 5, community and industry support for PewScience is fantastic. Support for the grassroots effort is great. Thanks to all the new members who recently joined. That's great. And if you are a new member and if you have not received a welcome email from me, please reach out. Oh, also, thanks to Alex Costa at A&R Design out of New Hampshire. I did his podcast with him last week, and it was a good time. I think we talked for like 2 hours about silencers and machine guns. So I'll put a YouTube. It was a Zoom call, so it was like a video thing. I'll put a YouTube link in the show notes so you guys can also listen to his podcast. Listen and or watch his podcast. I think it's called the Unholstered Podcast, something like that. I think it's episode 19 of his podcast. I think he just started his podcast not too long ago. Okay, topic 1 at a time of 9 minutes and 9 seconds. Okay. Get some water here. Topic 1. Okay. Excuse me. The FN 509 Compact Tactical update for you. Yes, this gun is awesome, bro. It's right in front of me. I'm super excited. Oh my God. Guys. It's been so long since I got a pistol that I could carry that I really like. Oh my guys, this gun is awesome. First of all, right away, I'm going to tell you this right away. For my hands, the 15 round mags are perfect. The 15 round mags are perfect. I just bought 3 more last night. They're awesome. They let you have your entire hand on the grip. And the compact FN guns, so I guess the 509 compact and the 509 compact tactical have a really short grip. Okay, so the mags that come with the gun, like the 12 round mag, not the 24 round mag, that's ludicrous, but the 12 round mag, it has a pinky rest thing, but it's not quite big enough for me. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? It's not quite big enough. So I like the 15 round mags. They're perfect. Okay, they also have 17 round mags. Some of you sent me some photos and the part number for the 17 round mags. Powerful Pew Science members, powerful podcast listeners doing that. That's awesome. But I don't think I need those. I do appreciate you sending me that, but I don't think I need them. I think 15 rounds is it for me. I think that it fits me now, and I have a bunch of mags now. I'm sure I'm going to keep ordering more and more and more so I can stash them everywhere, like, in my car, in my house, in my truck, in my office. Like, you never know where you need loaded mags. Like, am I right? Like, so, ammo depots everywhere. Really, you got your ammo depot. I don't know, man. The size of this gun is perfect for me. It's perfect. And before I go further, remember, guys, I bought this gun, and I guess I should have said this at the very beginning. I bought this gun. This was not given to me. You know what? Actually, I bought everything I'm going to talk about on the podcast today. So just so you know, if you're new to the show, or if you're new to what I'm doing with Pew Science, I'm literally a gun consumer like you that got fed up with all the sales and the marketing BS. So here we are. I created Pew Science so that you didn't have to worry about getting information from someone who sells you something. Does that make sense? Because if a dealer sells something and they're using their own information that's not from a third party, then there's a conflict of interest. No matter how well-intentioned they are. Right? It's inherent. There's an inherent conflict of interest. So, I mean, for example, what are Pew Science dealers doing now? Well, they're using Pew Science data that they don't have control over the Pew Science data, but they're using it. What does that do? Well, gives them a third-party resource that they can all use. That's how that works, right? So that's the purpose. That's what we're doing. If you're just tuning in, if you're just new to the show, or you never seen Pew Science, so okay. So anyway, back to this awesome gun. And I do give subjective opinions on this podcast. Frankly, it's just me as a gun consumer talking to you. All right. So if it's not backed by data, it's just my opinion. And so you can take that for what it is. But I'm telling you, a lot of people, hey, how do you like the gun? I say, I like it. This gun, actually, the gun size for me, dude, the gun size for me is perfect. It's basically the same size as my Glock 19. It is. It's the same length. It's the same depth. It's one thing I guess you could do with the FN. If you were so inclined. And I was thinking about this, and then someone mentioned, actually, one of you DM'd me a week ago or something. We're talking about this. If you were so inclined, you could buy a mid-size model of this gun, get that frame. Then you could put the full-size tactical slide on it with the barrel, and then you would have the longer grip without the need for a mag extension. But then you also would have the longer slide, because I think the medium-sized frame is too big for the compact slide that I have, right? And then I don't think they make a medium tactical. They make a full-size tactical, and then they make a they make a full-size tactical, and they make a compact tactical. I don't think they make a mid-size tactical. All right. So I think the compact tactical is the move right now for me. Personally, that's why I did it. Yeah. I think the 15 round mags with their grip extension make it perfect, dude. Honestly, without that, I probably would not like the gun as much. Without those mags, like I probably would not like the gun as much because it doesn't fit my hand as well without those 15 round mags. So they create the extension, right? They create the full size grip for me. Well, not the full size grip, but they create the grip that's equal to the Glock 19 grip, like length, pretty much. Pretty much. Okay. I think that's the move. The only thing that would make it better for me would be to lengthen the grip and then use standard base plate mags. I mean, right? I mean, that would be a no-brainer, I would think. Now, I will say though, the 15 round mags work fine. And they're great. Like, it fits my hand great with them. It's perfect, dude. They make it perfect. The grip is very comfortable. When I pick up my Glock 19 and I pick up this gun, the FN feels better, dude. It feels better. The grip texture is more aggressive. The grip is more comfortable. The gun actually points where I point. Bro. Dude, guys. The grip angle of the Glock is not geometrically correct for the human arm. And that's just a fact, dude. I don't know who thinks it is. Like, look, I don't know if anyone else has ever said that. Like, seriously, I'm not sure. Like, I might, some other people might share that opinion, or they might not share that opinion. I'm not sure. I'm not basing that on anyone's opinion other than my own experience. I have carried that Glock 19 for a very long time, dude. Almost 10 years, I think, I've carried that gun. Something like that. And I have not once have I thought to myself, boy, this grip angle sure is great. Boy, this gun sure points well. No, dude. Not once have I thought to myself, man, I'm so glad the Glock's designed like this. It's like I gave it a try, okay? I tried to like the Glock, dude. I gave it almost 10 years. How patient is that, dude? I'm not a believer in forcing. I'm just like, I'm done. It's a good gun. Glock 19 is a good gun. My major driver to it was I knew after my HKP7, which was awesome. I went to a radically different shift. I had never owned a Glock, and I was like, everyone tells me Glocks are great. I'm going to buy a Glock 19 to replace my HKP7 as my carry gun, daily carry gun. For a decade. Get some water here. Yeah, my daily carry gun for a decade. Let's do that. Yeah, not anymore, dude. I'm done. Like, seriously, like if you hold an HK or an FN in your hand and like just hold it in your hand and like raise the gun up to sight line and show me where the gun's pointing. And then do the same with the thing with the Glock. If the Glock points naturally for you, like you're not a human being, dude. Your arm's broken or something. Like I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Like am I gonna get in trouble for saying this? I don't. Is this controversial? Are Glocks good? No, Glocks are good pistols, dude. I'm not saying they're not good. Is my arm just different? Am I just not? I don't know, dude. Whatever. Back to the FN. There are all kinds of features on this gun that are cool, dude. It's sitting in front of me right now. Hold on. It might be loaded. 1 second. No. Okay, no, the chamber wasn't, but did have a loaded mag in it. It's nice. I'm holding it now without the mag in it because my mags are loaded. The trigger, dude. I like it. And you know what's really cool? It has ambidextrous controls. And I'm actually just kind of looking at that as I hold it. I'm not left-handed. I don't really shoot left-handed. I guess, you don't really use those unless I have shot I have done weak-handed training before, which I haven't done in a while. I guess I would use them if I did that. So you can use the slide catch on either side of the gun and the mag release on either side of the gun. I guess the takedown lever is only on one side because you don't really need that to be ambidextrous. But yeah, so that's cool. The biggest thing for me on this gun, besides the grip that we already talked about, because the grip's awesome with those mags, I think the biggest thing for me is the threaded barrel, the silencer height sights, the optic mount, and the trigger. I think those are what seals the deal for me, dude. Like, it's the threaded barrel's half 28. It works. We're actually going to get into that later because I have Griffin CAM-LOK on mine. That's right. And you can see the picture I'm going to post with this podcast and see the gun. Yeah, dude. The barrel works. The compact tactical comes with a yellow painted recoil spring. You're supposed to use that for suppressed or unsuppressed. It works fine. I'll tell you about shooting the gun later here, but it's awesome, dude. It's awesome. The sights are great. They're elevated. They're great. They work very well. The optic mount is great. I put a Trijicon RMR on mine. Super nice, super Gucci, super easy to use. It felt like cheating, dude. When I was shooting this weekend, it felt like cheating when I shot this gun. Like, honestly, that's what I feel red dots are on pistols, dude. Like, they feel like cheating to me. It makes shooting so easy. Like, do you guys feel that same way? Like, I really do feel like red dots on pistols feel like cheating. It's awesome, dude. Like, that is, like, what a great invention. Like, I'm super late in the game here, like, with this stuff, but dude, super cool. I can't believe how easy it makes it. My first love with firearms is actually pistol shooting. With like real like centerfire pistol, like centerfire firearms. That's my first like obsession. Like as an adult. Like as a kid, I never really did guns except in the Boy Scouts. You know what I mean? I didn't grow up shooting and hunting. That wasn't part of my life. Boy Scouts taught me, everything. And I learned about riflery in the Boy Scouts and stuff. But when it comes to centerfire firearms, pistols is where I started with the SIG P226. That was my first pistol. And I get the same love shooting this gun as I do that. And I tell you what, this red dot, dude. I'm a pistol shooter from the beginning. I am. And this enhances my experience to the point where it's like a new sport, dude. It is awesome. I love it. How awesome is that I can just leave it on? Like, I don't even have to like turn this thing off. I just like leave it on. It's like, oh my God, there's a dot on my pistol and it's electronic and it's just there. Like, I just leave it on, dude. It just like sits there on my desk and it's like, there's a dot on it, ready to pick it up and blast. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Do you need me to blast you? Oh, no problem. I can do that right away because my dot's on. I don't have to wait to turn on my dot. I can blast you right now. Boom, blasted. It's so cool. So yeah, super easy. It's wild to me, dude. Super easy to zero. I had zeroed it to the sights, like I told you guys I did. And then when I went to shoot, I realized that I wanted it so that I could like have the dot at point of aim when I was a little closer to the target because, it's my new carry gun. And chances are I'm going to use it within 10 yards. Like that's right. I'm not trying to shoot 50-yard pistol right now. And so yeah, what I did was I moved the dot, use a little dial there with a spent casing, move the dot down so that, move the point of impact to the proper thing, and boom, it's done. It's really easy. It actually took me like probably less than a minute to zero it. When I was shooting, that was really easy. I was like, this is great. And so yeah, there's that. And then finally the trigger. I like it. Is it gritty? Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm gonna pull the trigger. You know what? Honestly, dude, it feels better than it did when I bought it. I mean, maybe that's because I shot hundreds of rounds with the gun already. I love it. Is it gritty? Yes. Is the surface smooth, unlike the stupid Glock trigger? Yes. Yes, it is. Do I like the way it feels on my finger? Yes, I do. Does it make my finger feel weird after shooting like 200, 300, 400 rounds in short order? No. It doesn't, dude. I like it. It's nice. I'm a fan. It works. It feels nice. It's smooth on my finger. Guys, like that little blade crap. No, homie, don't play that, dude. I don't like that blade on the trigger. I want it to be a smooth trigger. And that's what this is striker fired and it has a smooth trigger? Bro, what did I tell you? That was like one of my selling points when I saw it. I was like, that's what I want. Dude, this gun is so comfortable. I'm like, yes. And it's so pretty. Come on, man. Yeah, so I shot it a lot. Guys, I actually did. I will say, I shot this gun a lot, dude. It was so fun. I shot it unsuppressed first just to make sure the gun worked. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, I'm going to shoot this gun. It's a brand new gun. Like, I'm not going to put a silence. I'm going to, you know. Look, I just wanted to make sure I understood the gun. It's not something I do with rifles necessarily. I have some rifles I've never shot unsuppressed. I do have some pistols I have only shot with a silencer because I'm a lunatic. That's true. I admit that. But this is my new carry gun, so I needed to make sure I had full understanding of the weapon. I'm not going to take chances here. I need to understand how it works. So I was like, all right. So, you know, I broke out the 124 grain NATO ball rounds, you know, and started shooting. You know, my first shots to the gun were unsuppressed. I shot hundreds of rounds with NATO ammo unsuppressed, just to, like, you know, zero the optic, shoot, get familiar with the gun, the trigger, the mags, loading the mags, any idiosyncrasy the gun would have, hand position on it, you know, make sure I didn't ride the slide stop, you know, stuff like that. Trigger control, sight picture, blah, 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 you know, red dot acquisition, blah, 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 you know, pistol shooting, dude. Like, okay, raise it up. Okay, shoot this many rounds. Okay, double tap. Okay, do this. Okay, do this. Move back, move closer. Move back, move closer. You know, just whatever. Making sure you can shoot a gun, making sure, you know how to use the gun. Cool. It was awesome. I was able to easily hit what I was aiming at, so that's a plus. Recoil was, you know what was really cool, guys? Recoil was fine for a compact gun, so that's nice. That's actually something that's important, right? Because you're going to practice with, you know, you're going to carry a gun, right? Well, if you're going to carry a gun, you're going to, you know, practice the heck out of the gun. You're gonna get really good with a gun. Like, I carried that Glock for 10 years. Before that, I carried the HKP7 for years. I knew those guns. I know those guns so well, dude. Like, I know those guns so. The Glock still doesn't point right to me, for me to this day. It doesn't point. I always have to actively think how to point that gun. It just doesn't point naturally to me. But I know it. I know that Glock, and so now I'm getting to know this. Getting into this gun. It's cool. It's a pleasure to shoot it. Cycles well, cycles smoothly is what it does. Now, it's not a full-size pistol. It doesn't cycle like a full-size pistol does. There's a difference. If you're a pistol shooter, you know what I'm talking about. Some of you don't shoot pistols. That's cool. Like, you don't have to, but well, no, yeah, you do. You should buy a pistol. But yeah, it's not going to be as smooth as a full-size gun, but it is good. For a combat pistol, for a compact combat pistol, I am pleased with the recoil kinematics and the slide kinematics of this gun. I am pleased with that. I am. You know what's really interesting? The 147 grain subs cycled. No, I wouldn't say cycled. The 147 grain subs, I found I could shoot it more accurately than the 124 grain NATO. You know what I mean? Yeah. I found out I could shoot that ammo more accurately. And it just so happens the ammo I'm talking about, this Spear Lawman 147 grain, it does mimic the ballistics of the carry ammo that I use, like the self-defense ammunition, the hollow point stuff that I use, the expanders. It mimics that, so that's good. I mean, I ended up being happy that it actually felt better shooting the 147 grains. That's actually the same ammunition that I test with, the 147 grain Spear Lawman. I think it's really good ammo. So yeah, I'm not sure why. I think, you know, the 124 grain NATO might be. It is, you know, it's NATO, so it's gonna be like, it's basically equivalent to plus P, right? 9mm, 124 grain. plus P. That's what 140 grain NATO is, I think. I want to say that's kind of what the load is. And so it maybe it was just a little bit snappy. Maybe that's why it wasn't. I mean, I still was accurate with it. I just wasn't as. I mean, when I was shooting 147 grain, it was like, whoa, those are hitting all in the same like hit. I was like, that's crazy. I was like, that's interesting. So that was cool. So I did that. Yeah. So I think for me, like fundamentals wise, one thing I noticed, I do need to work on not riding the slide catch. The way I hold this gun, I'm kind of experimenting with a little bit of different techniques, and I just need to work on that. Definitely need to work on both eyes open shooting. I can do it with a red dot. I do it, but when I close one eye, I'm just better, and I don't know if that's just my habit. Or like it is. I probably just need to practice more. So I'm gonna do that. What else? Before we talk about some other stuff. No, that's pretty much, dude. This is like one of those. It's one of those gun experiences where it's boring because it was exciting, but at the same time, it's like the gun worked perfectly. Just like it's like, you know what gun is boringly reliable, or what guns are like HK and SIG pistols, like my SIG P226 and my HK P30L. And my HKP7, like, those are boringly reliable firearms. Like they don't malfunction. They don't malfunction. If that gun if those guns malfunctioned, it would be an ammunition problem. Like those guns don't malfunction like in the normal course of shooting. Like if you have a pistol, dude, like seriously, and this is weird, but a lot of people for some reason are like, they make it okay to have like pistols that malfunction. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like your carry gun? That's okay with you? I'm sorry. Like, what are you talking about? Like, why would your pistol malfunction? Like, is it not maintained right? Is your ammo like crappy ammo or something? Why is your pistol malfunctioning? And people who are like, well, you're always gonna have a malfunction. It's like, no, you're not, dude. No, you're not. Not if your gun's set up right and your ammo's good. What is there to go wrong in a pistol? It has to be an ammunition problem. Well, okay. Can freak things happen like a firing pin break or something? Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. But so far, so good. Obviously, haven't put thousands of rounds down it yet, but this is the same type of feeling I get when I shoot like an HK or a SIG, this FN. And the same thing was like with my FNX 45. It's hammer fired, and that's not even the best hammer fired gun there is, but it's awesome. So yeah, that's the confidence I got when I shot this gun. So that's my thoughts on the unsuppressed shooting of this gun. Yeah, and then I put a silencer on it. I did. Boy, howdy. Let's talk about how it does as a silencer host. I'm holding the gun. I gotta put that down. Okay. Let's talk about it. Actually, and let's talk about the Griffin CAM-LOK. That's right. Topic number 2 at a time of 33 minutes and 12 seconds. Oh my gosh, I'm only on topic 2. Oh, Jay. Well, maybe we can make this faster. Oh, man. I think we can. Okay. Topic 2, yeah, Griffin CAM-LOK update. The system is awesome. Super excited, frankly. Super excited. Guys, excuse me. Remember when I told you I torqued this thing? I torqued this CAM-LOK onto my barrel, this CAM-LOK adapter with 20 foot-pounds. And I was like, dude, here we go. Well, I can tell you, I am not taking it off. I am not. I am leaving it on the gun because it is awesome. And I shot the ever-living crap out of the CAM-LOK. Guys, like, it's awesome. I love it. Hands down, the most fun I have had shooting a suppressed centerfire pistol in my entire NFA hobby career. Bar none. Bar none. Okay? Like, I'm going to say this for the record, sincere thank you to Griffin Armament for making this product, dude. Like, I don't care if it was in response to a solicitation, a customer need, a wild hair they got up their butt. Like, I don't care. I'm a consumer and I do not care. What I care about is if something helps me, and this helps me. Dude, like, let's talk about it, dude. I'm stoked. I am so stoked right now. Dude, frankly, you should be stoked too. I'm like pointing my gun at the screen. I'm like, you should be stoked. I am pointing it. I'm holding it, this gun, with my pinky free because I don't have a mag in it. Maybe I could shoot it like that. I bet I could. Frankly, you should be stoked. I shot this thing with three silencers with at least 50 rounds through each silencer, like in slow and rapid fire. Like, so I did a lot of shooting, like slow fire and rapid fire. I shot the CGS Mod 9, the CGS Mod 9 SK, and the Silencer Co Omega 9K. Okay, so those are the three silencers I had to shoot with me that I chose to bring. And I actually did pick this for a couple of reasons. This was an experimental outing with the silencers for the CAM-LOK. The CGS silencers, I knew if I blew these up, it was going to be easy for me because CGS is an R&D client for me. So I could be like, Bobby, what happened was, and Bobby would be like, no problem. I'm gonna hook you up with more. Just send it. We'll fix them, and I'll be like, perfect. I mean, okay, advantage of Pew Science. Okay, so that's not something a consumer can usually do. But I was like, well, if I'm gonna put these through the paces for you guys, I want to have the full confidence that I'm not gonna like be screwed. So I'm not gonna use my personal silencers. I'm gonna use test samples. So I use those too, and then the Silencer Co Omega 9K. Now, here's where I get a little ballsy. That's actually a Pew Science that's a podcast listener, a Pew Science member silencer. Sir, if you're listening, everything's fine. Calm down. No, I did put your silencer at risk, sir, but only after I put the CGS silencers at risk. It was lower risk, but it ended up being crazy. We'll talk about it. Just calm down. Okay, hold on. All right, let me explain. Let me explain each one. So, for you guys are like, oh my god, I'm not going to send this guy a silencer. No, just relax. It's fine. Plus, this is actually a special situation with this guy. He just to like assuage your fears. He told me, he was like, look, you can shoot the crap out of that silencer. Like, I have a bunch of them, or whatever. Like, it was like, it's fine. So yeah. The Mod 9. Full size. Now, it's a full size 9mm pistol silencer. So what does that mean? Okay, it means you're going to get a little bit of ejecta and blowback through the ejection port. Okay, that's what that means. It's just the nature of the beast. There's a flow restriction, and that's what happens with full size 9mm pistol silencers that are quiet on a 9mm pistol. That's how they work. So that's to be expected. Okay, so now it's a full-size silencer, so it does throw the balance of the gun off a little bit too. But it's not that heavy. I mean, the Mod 9 is actually a pretty light silencer, but it throws off the balance a little bit because it's a full-size silencer. What do we know about balance? Well, if you have weight distributed far away from the axis of rotation, that's a moment. That's creating a moment. Okay, another word for a moment is a torque, because the force times the distance. It's the center of gravity of the silencer times the distance away from your grip, and it adds that much moment to the rotation of your hand, or the desired rotation of your hand. So that's what I say when it throws off balance, okay, because you're hanging something off the end of your gun, just like on a rifle. So yeah, so it does to be expected. It's not crazy, but if it's like anything, it's noticeable. So if you're a pistol shooter, you know what I'm talking about. So now blowback wasn't bad. I was wearing my safety glasses and nothing crazy, and balance was typical. It wasn't crazy. I'm just mentioning these things to you so you get so you can kind of put yourself in the scenario here. Okay. So nothing crazy. Nothing crazy when you shoot that silencer. And that actually, if you want to know more about that silencer, I tested it. It's on pewscience.com in the sound signature review with the HKP30L. I don't remember which sound signature review it is, but it's one of the only 9mm pistol reviews I have on the site right now. So you can go see that. Now, what was crazy? Now, nothing was crazy there. But what was crazy? What was crazy is that the silencer didn't loosen from the mount, dude. Like I attached it using normal force, like just like I snugged it on. I was like, boop, put it on. Normal attachment to the gun. The CAM-LOK mount on the gun was already hot because remember I was shooting a bunch of unsuppressed shots. So I was like, bam, bam, bam. I was like blasting. I was blasting away, having a grand old time. So it was already my gun was hot. I snugged on the silencer and just went to work. Shot fine. Checked the point of impact shift later just to see because it shot. I put it on and it was fine. It was hitting dead on. I was like, this is awesome, dude. It was fine. Then I took the two different positions later, like when I had detached it, and I noticed that one of the positions of the CAM-LOK with this silencer, the point of impact shift was getting thrown off a little bit. Or the point of impact was getting thrown off a little bit, so there's a shift. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But that's pretty typical, actually, with a suppressed pistol. Suppressed pistols have a lot of things to go out of alignment on them. So chances are, if you use different piston positions or different mount positions, you will get a different point of impact. That's pretty typical. So anyway, what I didn't do, while still attached, I didn't pull the silencer and twist to use a different index slot for the piston, which I also could have done. So yeah, accuracy was really good. I didn't have a need to do that. Yeah. So what I'm saying is the CAM-LOK seems to not negatively influence accuracy. So that was great. Except that in that one position. And I guess it is marked, so I guess you can pay attention to how you put it on. Or you could check all the teeth and blah, blah, blah. But what I'm saying is it's workable. So that's that. I shot 15 rounds. I used my 15 round magazines that I had bought. I shot 15 rounds, checked, not loose. Shot another 15, checked, not loose. Shot another 15, checked, not loose. I was doing slow fire, so let me think about my cadence. I was like, boom. Boom. Okay, that was my slow fire. And then I was also doing rapid fire, so I was doing double taps. So I was like, ba-ba. And then I was like triple taps. I was like, ba-ba-ba. Yeah, I was getting confident, dude. I started doing double taps. I started doing triple taps at the steel I was shooting. I was like, yeah, I was John Wick, dude. Straight up John Wick. I was like, yeah. It was awesome, dude. It was working. I was super excited. I took out my earplugs, which is rare for me. I shot a few rounds. Fine. Not sure if the suppression rating is lower or higher than on the P30L. Okay, so you see a review on pewscience.com of the silencer. This sounded fine to me. I tend to wear earplugs when I shoot for range sessions with centerfire pistol just because of what I know about the ear signature, guys. Like Pew Science members, you've seen the ear signature. Everyone else, you can see the ear suppression rating. So yeah, it's on the website. You can tell that when you shoot centerfire 9mm, hearing protection is oftentimes recommended if you're shooting a lot of rounds, which I was. So yeah, super successful trial with that silencer with the CAM-LOK. Didn't come loose. Okay, so then next thing I did the Mod 9 SK, the short one. Okay, so let's make sure that, the little silencer that I'm going to throw around a lot if I put it on there, which is I'm probably going to put a little silencer on this when I shoot. Like for carry, I'm going to carry a little silencer with me. And then for, like if I was going to do I figured out a holster to use, it would be cool. I think it'd be cool to like do a class with a, could you imagine if it didn't come loose? I think it'd be cool to do a class with a silencer on a pistol. That way, like, it's just awesome. I just think it's cool. I think it's cool to like lower your signature and be used to it and be used to the balance of that on the gun. I think silencer should be on every gun. So I'm like, I just want to normalize it all, right? So I'm thinking that's cool. So I'm like, I'm gonna shoot the Mod 9 SK. I'm going to shoot the garbage out of it. I'm going to shoot the ever-living snot out of this silencer because now I'm having the most fun I've ever had shooting a pistol. Like, think about that. I've shot a lot of guns in my life, but this is the first time I haven't had to worry about pistol silencer coming loose off of a semi-auto handgun during shooting. I had some of the most fun in my entire life because of that. Like, I'm not saying this lightly, dude. Like, I'm trying to tell you, this is awesome. Okay, like it's worth trying at least. Like I'm telling you. So I put the Mod 9 SK on there. It was basically a repeat of the last test. I or trial rather. This wasn't really a test. Trial. It never came loose, dude. I used the same piston. I did the same thing. 3 mags, no problem. Now something happened, and this wasn't the CAM-LOK. Something did happen. Bam. Silencer didn't come loose on the gun. No, but I did. I failed the spring in the CGS silencer. What happened was this. It was, the silencer was sitting. It was sitting there loose. I was like, "What the heck just happened?" Like my gun. You know how I knew it happened? I was shooting, and all of a sudden my gun didn't cycle, and I was like, "What happened to my gun? That was odd. Did I have an ammunition mount?" And then I looked at the silencer. I was like, "Oh, it's." I racked the slide. It's like, okay, there. It didn't chamber the new round, and I was like, oh, my slide didn't cycle. Why didn't my slide cycle? And then I looked at the silencer, and I was like, oh, the inertial decoupler is not operational because the spring failed, so the gun couldn't cycle correctly. And I was like, okay. Interesting. It was like the spring broke. It was loose. Like I could put like the silencer, I could move back and forth freely. I was like, that's not good, dude. That's not what you want to see. So I was like, what in tarnation? What happened? And I didn't have my little rugged tool that takes the piston housing apart. If you have a rugged silencer, a rugged pistol silencer, the tool they make to take off the rear cap of the piston housing, it also works for the CGS silencer. Just something I discovered. I actually didn't bring that tool with me. I didn't think about it, and so I couldn't. Excuse me. I couldn't examine it. I couldn't figure out what happened. But after I got home, I took some pictures for CGS and I sent it to Bobby. And he told me that the spring that I had in mine was the old style, and they had made a change so that wouldn't happen. And what happened was there's a piece on the spring that's like ground flat at the end, and it kind of plastically deformed. It wasn't thick enough. And it spread out. And when it spread out, it hung up in the housing, and then the spring hung up, and so it couldn't. It was like it was compressed permanently, so it couldn't. Anyway, so it couldn't function, and so Bobby, I think I just actually right before I started recording this, I checked my email, and Bobby has new springs in the mail for me. Like that's how fast that dude operates. Like it's. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I was going to break a silencer, I'm like, well, okay, I was going to break that one. You know what I mean? So that was like by design, but so that's no problem. It's not the silencer, it's the spring. And apparently I had the super old part. So there you go. But at the time, I didn't know that. So I was like, oh, well, crap. So I took off the silencer. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to still shoot. And now would be a great time to start trying the Omega 9K from Silencer Co. So I put a CAM-LOK piston in that one too, and I put that on the gun. Same story as the other silencers at first, at least. Super accurate, actually. Super fun. Was having an absolute blast. Hitting what I was aiming at. Silencer was staying tight. So I dumped the mag, shot another 15-round mag. Then I checked the silencer. It had just loosened, dude. It had just loosened, like barely. Like me checking to see if it was tight, just barely broke it free. You know what I mean? You know that feeling, right? You're like, oh my God, that was loose. It's one of those situations. Check the end cap. Slight copper graze on the end cap. I was like, okay, textbook. That's a textbook end cap graze. No big deal. There's no damage to it. I've seen this a million times. Been there many times throughout my NFA hobby. No time to panic. Keep in mind, this is a Pew Science members silencer. So I'm treating this as like a personal silencer, knowing that I had confidence that wasn't. So I was like, okay, end cap graze. I have to admit, I was lulled into a false sense of security with the CGS piston, like the CGS CAM-LOK piston. Now, So the Silencer Co. rugged dead air piston, it worked really well, but it wouldn't stay tight after 30 or more rounds, or 30 rounds, I guess. So I think it's prudent. I would, based on just this experience so far, I would recommend that you check this after every mag, the CAM-LOK. So I don't think it's going to loosen in one mag, even if you go ham and shoot it rapid fire. But if you shoot it a whole mag, I think it's prudent to check, dude. It's not that hard. If you are dropping a mag, I think you can check. I think. At least, I mean, with the CGS silencer you didn't, but with the Silencer Co. Omega 9K you might. And here's why I think it might be the silencer, not just the piston. And this is a really interesting thing that we need to think about together. I think it's going to take a lot of information, because this is going to be actually like a multi-weapon, multi-silencer test process, because this is actually very complicated. It's very complicated. So I posted this on ARFCOM. In that thread I told you guys last time I made. And Austin from Griffin, the guy who designed this thing, he said that the Omega 9K cycles faster due to the geometry of the piston and the baffle stack. Like I haven't, I'm not sure if it's true or not. Like I have not had the time to look into it at all. But if what he says is true, and it very well might be true, I mean, he has no reason to lie. I mean, this guy designs silencers. Like, he's not gonna like lie to me about something like that. Like it might be true. It might be that the Omega 9K cycles faster, and he's done that research. I would need to use a high-speed camera to see that. I'm not sure, or do other testing. Or I would have to I haven't sound tested the Omega 9K yet, so I might see that in the waveforms, which I probably would see in the waveforms. If what he says is true, that means that you have higher return velocity with some pretty decent mass for its size due to the Omega 9K weight. Are you tracking where I'm going with this? So what does that mean? Like, if this is cycling faster, meaning that when we say cycle faster, I mean that the slide velocity is higher. Okay? And if the slide velocity is higher, and the piston isn't really, and everything in the silencer is not really doing everything 100% correctly awesome, and there's going to be more momentum involved, and there's going to be more momentum transfer into the piston mount interface. So in other words, you're going to have more of an impact event. And what does that mean? Well, that means it could potentially loosen faster with that particular silencer. Maybe, dude. This is a big if, okay? I don't know. The fact that it held for 2 mags and just loosened means it still works, and it works well with the Omega 9K, okay? It's a heavy silencer for its size, for its length, and if what Austin is saying is true about if it makes your gun cycle faster, well, that's important. Okay, because of its design, that's important. We'll have to take a look at that. I don't know if that's true, but this is good because it did hold. So I'm telling you, checking this after every mag isn't that huge a deal to me. It's such a different story about what it used to be like. Like, dude, you didn't know if you shot rapid fire, you didn't know if your silencer was going to come loose like in mid mag, dude. Trust me, I've had it happen. So, like, without CAM-LOK, like in the even with 13.5 by 1 left hand, with certain silence, everything has to be perfect for it to work right, dude. And it's just here, at least you have Griffin making the freaking CAM-LOK mount, and you have Griffin making the pistons. So you're taking that uncertainty away. That's cool. You know how many thread tolerance issues there are with like threaded pistol barrels and silencer pistons all the time? And how many people like get the metric 13.5 by 1 left hand spec wrong too? And there's sometimes some people use an O-ring, some people use a taper, some people use neither, some people use either one. It's crazy. Pistol silencers on pistols, on handguns, it's wildly crapshoot, like, to me. So the fact that you probably don't have to worry about this during shooting a 15-round mag out of a combat handgun, even rapid fire, is incredibly awesome. And I have never in all my years of suppressed pistol shooting ever felt like this. In all my years. Ever. I challenge, who felt like this? The only time I felt like this, and I'm going to promise you this is like the only time, is if everything's cold and I wrap I almost cursed. Trying to keep this a family show. I wrapped a metric ton of Teflon tape around when it was cold and cranked on a silencer, and I knew it wasn't going to come off until it got really hot, and then Teflon tape doesn't do anything. Well, that's not true. It does something because it still increases friction, and I didn't use a metric ton. I used proper amount of wraps. Let's not get crazy. I'm a little bit of hyperbole, but what I'm saying is CAM-LOK's cool. It works, dude. So you know how long I have waited to be able to do this? Like, you know how long I've waited? Decades, dude. Decades to do this. Here we are, man. I'm telling you, I'm putting this on my guns. And frankly, if a pistol silencer doesn't have a CAM-LOK option, I'm gonna shoot it less. Guys, that's my decision. Like, that means like Q Erector 9, AAC Illusion, the Tyrant 9. Those don't have CAM-LOK pistons, dude. Like, I just bought even more CAM-LOK adapters for my other guns, like just now, like last night or something like that. That's how excited I am for this. I have a bunch now. I spent a lot of money on CAM-LOK. I'm telling you, I bought a lot. If it wasn't for Pew Science, I would probably even put one on my P30L, but that has a dedicated test house right now, so I can't do that. But and it's not optics ready because it's HK, and they're, I don't know what you're doing, HK. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why you don't put optics on your hammer fired guns like FN does. I mean, I don't understand what you're doing. So yeah, no, I hope this helps you guys. I'm honestly excited about it. I used it. It enabled me to practice suppressed shooting and actually practice shooting my gun properly without worrying. That is so, the mental game just like shot up. I love it. Finally, dude, my advice, just check it every mag. Do a test on your gun. See what it does with your gun and your silencer, because the recoil kinematics can differ. This is my final disclaimer on this. Okay, and this is important. And because I think we're going to solve a lot of issues people are having just by this talk right now. So listen up. Remember, when you change slide mass, barrel mass, load type, silencer mass, spring rate, silencer length, all the numbers change. Okay? They all change. All the kinematics change. They all change. The impact force change. It all changes. All of it. What does that mean? That means you need to test your system. Okay? It does. Does this setup work for me? With this gun? With the silencers I gave you 3 experiences. Yes. So far, yeah. I bought you know what I did? I bought a rugged Obsidian 9, a brown one. Because I wanted to match my gun. and I don't have an Obsidian 9. I have an Obsidian 45, and I've actually been meaning to buy an Obsidian 9 because I need to test it anyway. And I was like, I'm just gonna buy a Obsidian 9. And I was like, well, I can get a brown one. And Rugged's finish is so great. I was like, I'm gonna buy a brown Obsidian 9. So I bought a brown Obsidian 9. We'll see how I like that. But I mainly bought it for the short configuration because it's going to be so pretty. But so yeah, but test your system. Okay, test your system with the CAM-LOK before you go whole hog on it. Okay, see how when it loosens. Do your test like I did. Okay, just do it. So does this setup work for me? Yes, absolutely does. So reach out with questions. tech@pewscience.com. That's TECH@pewscience.com. I'll be happy to talk with you about my experience. About if you have any specific questions I didn't cover, email me. We'll talk about it, dude. We'll talk about it. So good job, Griffin. Austin, you're the man. That's awesome. It's innovative for the market. I do think that definitely. The first to do interrupted threads? Absolutely not. The first to do it like this and sell it to the masses? Absolutely. I haven't seen this marketed anywhere else. So that's innovation, dude. That's innovation. You brought something to market that people needed, and it works well. So I'm gosh darn excited about this. Tell you what. Yeah. Okay. So that's the end of topic 2. Okay, we're going to go into topic 3 at a time of 1 hour, 0 minutes, and 55 seconds. That was weird to write down. Okay. Hope I did that justice, guys. I hope I give you enough information on the CAM-LOK and this gun. What a great day of shooting for me. And let's talk about more of my day of shooting. Topic 3, Surefire SOCOM 556 RC2 on the tuned 11.5-inch mid machine gun. Fun? Absolutely. Do I have to qualify that statement? Unfortunately, I do. Yes, so let's talk about it. Let me get some water. I'm sorry, my voice is really going today. I had a long day today, and I didn't realize until, I don't know, like last night that I was going to have to do a podcast early because of my schedule, but it's fine. We're going to make it through together. Now, this gun, guys, this Surefire RC2, the 556, guys, on the 11.5-inch mid, it's quiet, dude. It's quiet. I took off my ears. It's quiet. I tuned the gun. It's quiet. It sounds awesome. The muzzle rating, remember the muzzle rating is it's only going to be the same or better than the 10.3-inch Mark 18 was, right? Think about that. Think about it. Right? What do we know about guns? What do we know about silencers from what we've been studying? It's only going to be better. So it's an inch longer barrel. So you know that. So what about the ear rating? Is that going to go up on this gun now? This tuned at 11.5 compared with the Mark 18? I mean, so what is my tuned 11.5? It is a 11.5-inch mid-length gas, superlative arms gas block, Surefire OBC. Okay. Is the ear rating going to go up on this gun compared to the Mark 18? I mean, inherently it will, because the source pressure from the end cap is further away from your head. So there's that part. So yeah. So, well, what about tuning it? So the ejection happens later. So the chamber's closed longer. You think that helps? Well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't do high fidelity testing, but I can tell you as a shooter who has shot the 556 RC2 with the Mark 18 and also on the tuned 11.5 without ears, the suppression rating at the ear went up. I mean, I don't have the numbers. I haven't tested it, but I can tell you that it sounds better. We will have to find out exactly how much when I test that. But I'm here to tell you right now, anecdotal report, it's cool. I took off my ears and I shot and I was like, this is awesome. Because I took off my ears and shot with the Mark 18 with the Surefire, and I was like, okay, it was good. Like for a Mark 18, but it was like still kind of loud. This, I was like, this is way better. So now we get to the catch. As I hold my FN, we get to the catch here, guys, that I need to talk about with you. There's a catch. It is quiet. Okay, I mean, it's quiet. In semi-auto, when you're just shooting, it's not gassy. It's smooth, dude. It's pretty. But in full auto, my friends, you're going to go to Gastown, USA, population your face. Okay, that's right. Remember when that listener asked during the last question solicitation, like the previous episode we did the questions on. He asked, this guy said, have you noticed an increase in back pressure with automatic fire or something like that? Something along those lines. And I told him, I said, no, but the effects of back pressure, which can be blowback out of the ejection port, are cumulative when you do it again and again and again in a short amount of time. Remember, we talked, I know I said that to you because I remember saying it. So guess what a 30-round mag dump is? You're dumping fast and the gas is going to build. It is. It doesn't hit you right away. Okay? If I remember correctly, it hits you like mid-mag or something like that. It hits you like mid-mag. Like maybe with this setup, something like that. Like, so like in like the middle of the mag dump, you're like, whoa, here comes that gas, home slice. So yeah, so what does that tell you? What does that tell you about super quiet full auto AR-15 systems like this? You can't get something for nothing. That's what it tells you. And that's what this tells us. You can't get something for nothing. It tells us that a 5.56 bore silencer, a small bore silencer, will not have adequate flow rate to keep the additive combustion byproducts left in the barrel after unlock away from your face. It just won't. You can't tune this gun any more than it's tuned. You can't tune this gun anymore. This SBR is what it is, dude. At this point, you cannot flow fast enough to not have the gas pile up in the system like this. You can't. Now, is it ammo dependent? Okay, well, maybe sometimes it is. Maybe it could be ammo. But I can tell you right now, the experience I'm giving you is with Hornady Frontier 5.56, 55 grain. And spare me. I know 100,000 people have told me that this will blow up my gun. It's like, okay. It might be a little inconsistent. I did have one round, and actually, one of the first malfunctions I've had with this gun, it was weird. Like I was shooting one mag dump, and like after like 6 or 7 full auto rounds, the gun stopped, and I was like, "What the heck just happened?" And like I went to chamber a round, and like there was no round in the chamber, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, the round must have not." It didn't chamber the round. I was like, it must have not had enough energy. I was like, that's weird. And then I had read that it was inconsistent ammo. I was like, okay. But other than that, I dumped a bunch of mags and it was fine. So I was like, that's weird. It's really weird. And then it never happened to me with Federal. So I was like, that's strange. I wonder if that's ammo. Because I mean, the gun was locking back. It was tuned. I tuned it so that it would lock back on an empty mag. So it not chambering around didn't make any sense. I was like, no, the something's wrong with the ammo. So it could be. Anyway, so I use Hornady Frontier now. Could it be different than the Federal 193 that I used to test with? I don't know. I was asking people to. I actually tried to figure that out using Instagram. Because I didn't bring any Federal with me on Saturday. Like I had bought 1,200 rounds of this Hornady stuff, and I never shot it before. So I wanted to try it. So that's why I took it out to just play with. I shot steel with it. I messed around with it. I did a bunch of mag dumps with, like I said, through the Surefire with it. The 30-round mag dump gassed me with a tuned gun. So yeah, is it the silencer or the ammo? I bet it's the silencer, dude. I think it's the silencer. I could be wrong. More research is needed. I thought I was going to have time to do a mag dump maybe today. I brought some Federal with me. When I went out, went to work today, I brought some Federal, and I didn't have time to shoot today. I went on Instagram and made a poll to ask people, and I couldn't get a conclusive answer about the ammo. And I was like, I hesitate to say it was the Surefire, but I have a feeling it is, just because of the bore size, guys. I mean, I'm going to say, all in all, would I use the Surefire Silicon 556 RC2 on an AR? Absolutely. I mean, it was awesome. Like the flash mitigation was awesome. Now, that's one thing I did. I took a video at dusk, and you get a little pencil flash thing, but no fireball. Sounds nice too. I was shooting like slow fire at steel. There's no gas. Like when you shoot like just strings of fire, like there's no gas in your face at all. But then when you do a 30 round mag dump, about halfway through the mag, it starts to get you. And that is flow rate, dude. That's flow rate. And the silencer is really quiet. Remember that it had a 35 suppression rating at the muzzle, or 34 or something like that at the muzzle on the Mark 18 at the 1 meter away. Remember that? So that's quiet, dude. So how does it do that? It's got to trap some gas, right? So at the muzzle, right? It's got to trap some gas. So yeah, maybe I'll post that video to show you. But maybe not with this podcast. Maybe I'll post that next week. I have to show you another picture of my pistol. Yeah, remember I told you I have to do that? It's too pretty. But speaking of performance of 5.56 silencers and studying flow restriction, let's move into topic 4 at a time of 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 55 seconds. Okay, that was exactly 10 minutes on the Surefire. It's a good omen. Okay, this is going to be quick. Topic 4, guys, just an update for you. New sound signature review this week. That's right. More data? That's right. Yes, friends. More data. More data for you. I actually, like I said, I forgot about my vacation for a second, and I didn't realize. I was like, oh my gosh, now I have to push the review to you sooner because I won't be able to do it the normal time. So yeah, I'm gonna have to push it out to you. So stay tuned for more data. It's coming. I think you're gonna like it. Just how crazy can 5.56 get? Just how crazy can 5.56 get? How much flow restriction can you induce in a system before you really start going wild? What does going wild look like? What can happen? Is it good? Is it good for the gun? Is it good for you? Stay tuned, friends. It's going to get wild. Buckle up for more data that will probably not be a surprise to many of you. Probably will not, but also it might be a little controversial. We'll see. We do have to break some eggs to make an omelet. We do. And right now, as far as Section 6 of the Silencer Sound Standard is concerned, we're beginning to flesh out variables. We're beginning to flesh out variables across different flow regimes and cartridges that will most certainly pay dividends in the long run. The information, it's going to. So stay tuned, Pew Science Army. Stay tuned. I kind of started on this review, but I am behind my friends. So I'm going to do my best to get this to you before I leave on vacation. Okay, I'm going to push. Please be patient and kind if I don't make it, but I'm going to try. I'm going to give it the old college try. I don't know exactly how much detail I'm going to give you. There are some things that I'm not publishing yet because I need to study them more. But we're gonna try. Okay, so there's more data analysis coming to you this week. Hopefully, if I can make it happen, I will. And if I do, it'll be Wednesday. Okay, pewscience.com. Pewscience.com. Okay, topic 5 at a time of 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 24 seconds. Okay, yeah. Topic 5. Community and industry support for Pew Science. Yeah, for the grassroots effort. It's been really great. This support, it's been great. Thank you to all the new members who recently joined. Awesome. You should have received a welcome email from me. If not, please bug me. Like, there's no excuse. I shouldn't have. You should have an email from me at this point. Special thank you to Alex Costa at A&R Design. I almost said A&R Defense. Alex Costa at A&R Design out of New Hampshire. I did this podcast with him, and it was a good time. It was. So thank you to all of you. All of you, check your spam folder if you don't have an email from me, members, okay? And if it's not there, email tech@pewscience.com. Be like, dude, you were supposed to email me. And I totally will. Okay, I think I got all of you. No, but this has been great. The support from dealers has been really nice. The dealers who are using the data to help their customers make educated purchasing decisions, that's cool, dude. It is. And I had a wonderful podcast with Alex, Mr. Costa at A&R Design, New Hampshire. We did a Zoom call for 2 hours. It was really nice. I will. Am I gonna? Yeah, I think I can do that. I think I have the link. I'll put a link to the YouTube video in the show notes for this podcast so folks can see it. Okay. So we basically, just to let you know what the subject was, we talked about silencers and guns, and basically we're kind of just getting to know each other because we literally just met on that call. We were introduced by somebody, and they said, "Hey, you should do his podcast." I said, I love podcasts, sure. And so I went on the podcast. We talked. It was very nice. He was very nice. He's a very nice person. He makes holsters. A&R Design. They make holsters. We apparently know a lot of the same people. He and I. It's cool. He's an engineer. He's a mechanical engineer by education. Seemed like a sharp guy. He's definitely a gun guy, which was cool. Nice guy. We got along. It was great. So thank you, Alex, for having me on. And go check that out. Again, I'll put the link in the show notes. So, all right, folks. I'm recording this. It is Monday night. I'm not set up for this right now. So if you're listening to this now, it's probably Tuesday or later. So I hope you have a good start to your week. I hope you have a good rest of your week. And stay tuned for some more data. Hopefully this week. And I will talk to you folks again soon. All right. Bye.